Hello, dear Rach and Soph listeners. This is Sophie Green,
And I'm Rachael Johns.
and this is an atypical episode in which we take you through some new releases, in this case for the month of June 2025, from Australian and New Zealand writers. We are doing this because we would like you to know which books are out, because it's increasingly hard to know which books are out when traditional media doesn't cover Australian and New Zealand writers the way we would perhaps like them to. The day
Or
I'm
the way they
recording
once did, maybe.
where they once did. In fact, the day that we're recording this, I happened to see on the front page of a Sydney Sunday newspaper, Emily Henry up the top.
Really.
And it's great. We love Emily Henry, but I don't know that she needs the promotion in
No,
Australia.
it was, I think I mentioned here before as well about how I read on Substack that someone was talking about celebrity book clubs sort of have they lost their point because Reese Witherspoon's latest book is Emily Henry's. And we do love Emily Henry. I've read that book, and I've read all her books. But yeah, she doesn't need the media space because she's already got, huge amount of fans and people buying her books. So yeah.
Absolutely. And there are some great stories amongst Australian authors, for example. I should also confess to you, our listeners slash viewers, that we've tried to record this once already. And Rach and I are a bit tongue-tied because we've just had a long interview with Kimberley Freeman, whose book is out this month, and you'll see it shortly. But we did the first recording. I said to Rach, let's stop. We're a bit tongue-tied. And so we're trying this again, and hopefully this one sticks.
Hopefully.
And to make sure it starts the right way, I'm throwing to Rach for the first book.
Okay, well, the first book is a general fiction book. The title is Rise and Shine. It's by Kimberley Allsopp. And I am super excited about this one because I think I saw it announced in Books and Publishing or on Kimberley's Insta page, when it first was talked about. And the cover is just to die for. I wish I had a picture of the cover. It's just got all this cozy, warm feeling. It makes me just want to read it on a winter's or not a winter, spring or an autumn day. Anyway, it's called this is the tagline: charming, talky, wryly funny, poignant, and original. Rise and Shine is a love story, yes, but it's a love story that happens 10 years into a marriage when somebody wants out. And
Mm.
I think that's a great premise.
It is a great premise. Yeah. Immediately intriguing. So I want to read it too. There we go. We'll see who gets to read it first. One book I have read and that you are starting to read or just started to read is The Secret Year of Zara Holt by Kimberley Freeman. Now, the copy I'm holding up is the proof copy, so it does not have the lovely finishes. Rach is holding
I've
up
got
the
a
one with the
pretty
lovely finishes.
copy.
There's a bit
Oh.
of foil. We love foil. So this is historical fiction from Hachette, and it is a richly imagined novel of love, fashion, scandal, and one captivating woman's passionate life. The captivating woman in question is Zara Holt, who is the widow of Prime Minister Harold Holt, who disappeared off a beach on the Mornington Peninsula in late 1967. So yeah, I just love this book. I'm so sad it's over. I was
Well,
like,
I'm very looking forward to getting back into it. It sounds amazing and such a fascinating idea to take a real person and give the story a fictional twist. So I
and we
can't
did talk to Kim about that, so you can seek out that podcast episode when it's up.
Definitely. The next book we've got, again, I have an ARC, advanced reading copy for anyone who's wondering what an ARC is, not Noah's Ark. I have this copy of The Palazzo by Kate Nunn. She's previously written mostly historical fiction, but this is a new direction for Kate. It's a crime thriller. It's published by HarperCollins. And I'm going to read the tiny little bit of the blurb because I think that gives you a little insight of what it is. The stunning new novel from international bestseller Kate Nunn for all fans of Lucy Foley and The White Lotus. Newly widowed beauty entrepreneur Vivi Savage's 40th birthday is fast approaching, and she plans to celebrate it at the Palazzo, a historic former convent in the foothills of the Italian Alps, run by the disgraced chef Marco Bianchi and his elderly grandmother. So it's some White Lotus vibes. It's going to be something that happens at that 40th birthday, I think. And on the front it says they're all killers, but only one will resort to murder. So I think we know what's going to happen.
I have read several of Kate's historical fiction books and think she's a terrific writer. So if you do not know Kate Nunn's books yet, and it's spelt Kayte if you're Googling, then I suggest you go and find out about them because they're great. Now, the next book, and I'm holding up a copy of this on screen, is Boney Creek by Paula Gleason. It is a mystery slash thriller, and we are organizing our titles by genre now because I'm a bit more organized than I was from the first episode we did this. Boney Creek is published by Thomas and Mercer, and the brief description is: when several small town locals die under mysterious circumstances, an aspiring journalist is determined to prove the connection between them, only to discover the dangerous secrets they left behind. Boney
I want
Creek.
to read that now. That's a great tagline.
Oh, look, there's just so many books, so little time.
So many books, yeah, exactly. We need that on a t-shirt. I'm sure it is on a t-shirt somewhere. Anyway, the next book that I want to talk about is another one that I think I saw in Books and Publishing, spoken about when it first was announced. It's called A Beautiful Family, and it's by New Zealand author Jennifer Trevelyan. It is a debut, and it's getting a bit of hype already. And Leanne Moriarty, she got a cover quote from Leanne Moriarty and Hannah Kent, so they're big names. This story is about an eventful summer that forever changes the lives of a family in the most engrossing debut you'll read of the year, apparently. And that's a big statement. So that's one that's been on my radar for a while, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading that.
Still in our crime thriller mystery category, we have Whiskey Valley by Joan Sowers, published by Allen and Unwin. And the description is from the intriguing Echo Lake. Rose McHugh, curious historian turned detective, returns to solve her next compelling mystery in the moody Southern Highlands. A missing violinist, a rising flood, a race against time, intrigue, music, and danger collide in Whiskey Valley.
Ooh, so many good mystery books coming out.
Yeah. It is. Look, it is. We know that crime mystery thriller are popular at the moment, but it shows no sign of abating. So Australian readers
Has it
are
ever been like, I think since The Dry, when it
Yeah.
really kicked off again.
Yeah.
You hear, oh, we've got enough outbreak thrillers, but people keep writing them in a different sort of way, and people keep buying them. So
Exactly.
that one sounds really good as well. The next one is a fantasy novel, and it's another debut by Olivia Flynn. It's called Ever Blessed. The tagline says it's a spellbinding fantasy series with magic and spicy romance, perfect for fans of Rebecca Yarros, A.K. Mulford, and Sarah A. Parker. And it's got a beautiful cover as well. And it says also on the website about this, love, mythology, and magic collide. So for those people who love mythology, I think it's definitely going to be a fun book.
Now, the next one I couldn't actually find out any information about, so I'm hoping it's still being released in June. It is Shadow of Ruin, which is book 2 in the Donare series by Melissa and Andre Hatting, Hattingh. It's romantasy and it's published by Blue Griffin.
Very cool. And we have another fantasy one. Geez, it's a month of fantasy too. The title is Raven and the Witch. Then the subtitle is The Bloodlines of Destiny, book 1 of 3. And it's by Wendy Pym. And this also, it's a YA fantasy. It's indie published. And this is the tagline. In this thrilling blend of Native American folklore, magic, and fierce heroine empowerment, Raven and the Witch sets the stage for a battle that will determine the fate of a people and the strength of Raven's heart.
Now switching to romance, specifically rural romance. I always have trouble saying it. Cockatoo Cove by Maya Linnell. It's published by Allen and Unwin. Now, Maya is a very popular rural author, and this novel is delightfully packed with new friends and loves, family and community spirit. And it's from the best-selling author of Wallaby Lane, and absolutely charming. So I'm holding it up on screen for those of you who are listening, just so you know it is out now. Cockatoo Cove by Maya Linnell.
And Maya does small town so well. Like, you just feel like you're part of the community. The characters are great. Yep. So the next one I've got is also, I've got an arc that I'm holding up. So I don't know if you can see that with my it's such a pretty arc.
It is.
Anyway, it is called An Academic Affair, and it's by an academic and romance writer, Jodie McAllister, published by Simon and Schuster. You're right, we have lost our words. It's published by Simon and Schuster, and it's being coined as the love hypothesis meets the hating game, and both of those are huge, really popular romance novels. So it is about, it says on the front, real rivalry, fake marriage, can they outsmart their own hearts? And it's set in the university. So it's definitely a world that Jodie knows, as she is an academic herself. So I'm sure it's fabulous.
And am I right in thinking she's an academic about romance novels?
Yes, she is. She's presented a number of times at the Romance Writers of Australia conference, and she teaches romance novels. Not just romance, I think, but very heavily, romantic elements and romance.
So the next one is a literary novel, and it is New Skin by Miranda Nation, published by Allen and Unwin. It is a powerful debut about first love and second chances from a stunning new voice in Australian fiction.
Well, two of my favourite things to read about and write about are first love and second chances. So Sounds like a good winner from me.
And we are scheduled to have a chat to Miranda soon, so I'm looking forward to reading the novel ahead of that.
That'll be fabulous. The next one is Galaxy Grifter, and the author is A. Zakova, and the genre is sci-fi. Publisher is Orbit US, which is part of Hachette. And this is the tagline: only the wittiest, smarmiest, most sycophantic person. Hope I've said that right. Sycophantic? I'm terrible with pronunciations. Anyway, we'll start again and hope that I'm saying it right. Only the wittiest, smarmiest, most sycophantic person in the galaxy can grift like Levi can. The reason I'm so bad with words is because I didn't read enough in high school.
PSA for you there, folks.
Yeah, if you don't want to be like me and you're younger than me, read.
Now, the last book
I read now for everyone.
is one. The last book to mention, actually, you said high school. This is a young adult book, and I love it so much. It's called The Fall in the Wire. The author is Robbie Coburn. It's a YA verse novel published by Hachette. The description is an astonishingly raw and beautiful verse novel about survival, love, and the bonds between humans and animals from an important young Australian poet. Now, before I read it, I have to say, I didn't know if I was going to like a verse novel.
I know. I was thinking. What's the cover like? I need to look up the cover because I'm thinking I love the sound of that, and I hope that it's got a really what's the word? Can't even think of the cover.
The cover is a painting of a foal, and and I was actually in the cover meetings when this cover was being decided on, and as soon as everyone saw that cover, it just had to be that cover.
I've seen it. Beautiful. Stunning. Well, it does sound amazing. Anyone who can write a novel and do it in verse. I'd take it off for them.
I actually read it, but partly I think this is interesting to consider for those of us who feel we're pressed for time. We do want to engage with stories, and we're not sure about our attention span. I actually read that whole novel on the bus trip to work. Now, my bus trip to work was maximum half an hour.
Yeah.
There was a whole world inside that novel. So I think if you find that you really want to get back into into reading, and you're not sure if you have the time to, or you might think you've lost the habit. I actually think slender young adult novels and books are the way to go. Like Ashley Barton's How to Sail to Somewhere.
I've got that after talking to her, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I would commend to anyone who wants to get back into reading, starting back with children's novels, young adult novels, because the storytelling in some ways, I don't want to say it's more pure, but it's often just more concentrated in a way, if that makes sense.
I do feel like also you have to be a very skilled writer to cut it in that YA world, because we were just talking with Kimberley Freeman about all the different distractions that adults have from just reading a book. But I feel like that is so much more that teenagers have. So
absolutely,
really pull them in.
Yeah, so there you go. Perhaps something a bit different. We're so tongue twisted, Rach. We better go.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks for putting up with us, everyone.
We've done our best. We're trying to do it so we can bring information to you. We are fitting these in around our other podcast recordings, around our writing, around other work, householder life. So we hope you enjoy learning about these new releases. If you don't enjoy it, then do leave us a comment, because that's great for our algorithms, and we will see you soon. Bye, Rach.
Bye.